say. But name is not a language. A name is an ID. A name of a thing, a name of whatever, is something that identifies something. You say table. In this language, you will say table, and you will sort of translate it to another language. They will speak it. They will have a different way of calling tables. These are names of things. A name of a person is something that identifies somebody, a living thing, And they say they can call camels and all that differently. If you say human being, you can translate it in so many ways for people to understand that it's the name of a living thing. That's a general name. But the name of a person, the name by which his ID is not translatable. Even if you can, you don't have any reason to do that. You can translate him as a human being for everybody to have that. Okay, we're talking about a human being. That's generally can be translated. All languages can have a way of, saying the word human being. But that human being has got an idea of a name. Like you can change somebody's fingerprints. That's how it's compared to the name of a person. Should be seen something compared to his fingerprints. You can change somebody's fingerprints, so you can change the name. You can change my eyes. You don't have to change my eyes unless something it becomes necessary to. But there's no point. It is an ID. These are all part of me. So a name is given to somebody to be a part of the ID, to identify the person. So if my name is Arafat, it stays as Arafat. The English might say Arafat. If you go to, let's say, Arab, they might pronounce the same Arafat. Wherever I go, the country will ask for my name, and I give my name, and I'll be called by anybody by the name that I mentioned to them, despite whatever language. They will have to call me by the name despite the language that they have. If they ask me of when I was born, and traditionally people who were born the same day, they will have a different name, then they can call me that different name based on the fact that they are sort of going by their culture and say, okay, if you were to be born the same day as you were born there, we would have called you this. But that does not make me my name. That shouldn't be. Now, in this sense, Jesus and whatever we see today, or Yahushua, name was given to by God. According to the God of that time, the Jewish God, Jehovah gave him the name Yahushua. Whatever name he gave from heaven above, that name cannot be changed or cannot be, It's like I can compare it to the will. If I make a will for my family, nobody can change that will. If I die, I'm dead. And that will is supposed to put there. You'll read it as I have put it. That is my wishes. You don't change it. That's how I understand it. In fact, that's how I feel that it should be understood. My best way of explaining this is I think I've done my best, to get it through to you. So if I'm looking at it from this point of view, that the changes was unnecessary. But even if, let's say, it has been done, so be it, fine. Let us. It's also revealed that if that has been done, that it was revealed that somehow it could also be possible that it is an identity of somebody else or something else. Because Jehovah will not see his son, if it's to be his son, to be called whatever name we call today. The name would have come. He has seen beforehand. But it is also something to do with acknowledging who he is. He's Christ, isn't it? Christ is like the general name of him being the true messenger of God. And the text is saying here that many will come in my name. It's either somebody coming and saying that I was sent by Christ. Okay, I was sent by Christ. Or one coming in a name, whatever name that person might have, like say the name Jesus, and says that I am the Christ. But if the person, if we're talking about someone who is not there, so the name is only being used by whatever institution or whatever group that has translated it, or after the presentation has been made from whatever end of people or leadership to say, okay, we call him this name because We have made a great translation, so we have to translate the name too, and this is acceptable. This is how, if you combine all the groups that decided to make the translation, this wasn't just by one country. I think it came by a group of countries, the French and all those Portuguese, whatever, came together. And so we choose a name for him. And so the human beings, or the people who decide, who believe to be inspired by Holy Spirit, have ended up picking a name, or through the language, best language they use, so the test, whichever test they had, translate the name that Jehovah that has been given, whether they were trying to hide him or whatever it is, and gave him the name Jesus. The name Jesus was not. First, I think the Latins were using Jesus. Jesus also. And I think it went on to Yesu, and then now Jesus, and then, but before it was what, according to the same translation, because Yehoshua is still English translated. It won't be written the same way in the Jewish way. They will write it differently. But the pronunciation will come out the same as like that. That's how they'll pronounce it. So you can even write somebody's name, whatever name a person bear, in English, and still pronounce it the same way, because the sound of it should be the same. But when it comes to Jesus, the sound is not the same as the Jewish who pronounce the Christ or the man that we are supposed to be talking about. So a man is there, and the man is Jesus. Whether somebody was called Jesus, I don't know, but that is the presentation of the God, or the Son of God, or the Spirit, the man, the story of the man that we are supposed to know. That's the name that is being given to him now by the current generation through the eldership that made translation. And so they say Jesus is accepted. That is the name. That is the name that is the story we are talking about. He's the one we are talking about. But before this Jesus, the name Jesus is to come, or Jesus, or Yesu. The name was to come. There's a test. This test was there already. That's what I'm supposed to believe, that this test was there. So what am I supposed to think? If this test was there, Matthew 24 was already there, then I'm seeing it here. I mean, it's very tricky and very, very sensitive. I see the test now, and I'm thinking through, okay, if this was said beforehand, many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. What am I supposed to think? If the name that is now existing, wherever the name is presented to be, for me to see it as what? The true person. So if it was to be a person standing there and telling me his name is Jesus, but he is the Christ, I'm supposed to accept that, yeah, he is the Christ. Then why you call yourself Jesus? He said, okay, because I'm now a Westerner, or I'm now in the Gentiles, among the Gentiles, and this is the name they prefer to call me, so I accept that name. So it becomes like, okay, but still there can be doubts, because you already have something that was heavenly given to you that I'm supposed to identify you with. Why are you calling me? Why are you using? You're still going by a translation of what men will decide and give you. What name ever the men give you, you think that name is okay. If they call you any name and feel that that name is to be respected as the true name that your God, or the God that you are presenting, gave you, you expect me to accept that, or to see you, or to respect that you are truly the person. I don't think so. I don't think you are the same person. Somehow you have changed your fingerprint by doing that. You have changed your ID by doing that. So you certainly cannot be the same person. But the eldership says this is it. He is the person. That is the same this way. What are you going to do? It's up to you personally to make the choices and decide within yourself. That's the decision I have to take. You have to take. Discover the truth. And when you discover the truth sets you free. If you discover the truth, based on the truth, you are set free. You set yourself free from any lies, any deception, whatever format it might be. You understand? Now it might look glittering, but it is all bewitching. It is all bewitchery. It is all witchery sort of foundation, or witchery